Welcome into Sports Betting with Donnie, presented by RightWager.com.
Hump day out there. It is Wednesday, August 26, 2020. Welcome into Sports Betting with Donnie, presented by RightWager.com. Another day, another dollar. At least we hope. Had a really good day yesterday on SportsBookReview.com's Major League Baseball show with both myself and Jason Radowitz. Killed it, turning up another 2 wins on my play of the days. Makes it 5 in a row there, but I did drop my play on RightWager.com with the Cubs team total over, which they absolutely drew dead last night. And maybe I should have been on the Detroit Tigers. Now, look, might have to come back in that same realm today. Cubs and Detroit, a little bit tasty here. Lester is a really poor pitcher, so maybe those Detroit Tigers can get that team total back-to-back nights, but disappointing last night for the Cubs. But outside of that, just about everything I touched was gold. So we'll keep on plugging away. Should have a nice premium play for today on RightWager.com. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please feel free to do so. Some good hot topics that we're going to talk about today and go over. And a couple things that came up as like the show was getting underway, and I already had my topics laid out, but there's a couple things that are popping up across that I do want to talk about. So let's get right to it. Hot topics, baby.
These are your Sports Betting with Donnie hot topics of the day.
All right, Pro Football Focus is a site that a lot of us look at, follow, or keep an eye on Twitter. It's always fun to make fun of the people who run that account. Very, very, liberal in their ways, rooting for almost football, impending doom. And then they get angry when you call them out on their nonsense. But they did bring up an interesting topic today, which I'm following along with, because obviously being a sports gambler and being in this business, I don't think people, again, we're not clicked on yet to football season. Football's coming up in like a week and a half, and there's not a lot of, I don't want to say support for football, but it's just going to appear on your TV. Like I'm looking at some of the lines yesterday, I'm going, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea who's going to cover point spreads, what the points are going to be, how a football season is going to look. But one of the interesting things that keeps on getting brought up from a competitive advantage perspective has to be the crowd noise, what they're talking to do in the NFL. They still don't have a plan. And this is a major, major effect on how you're going to bet football games, both home and away. In the past, when we take a look at the NFL, it's really hard to go on the road and win. Why? Because the crowd plays an advantage. You're traveling on the road. But now we're talking about no fans, or maybe 10,000, 15,000 fans in, and the NFL saying, okay, we're going to put in crowd noise. Now, number one, I don't understand the fact we're putting in crowd noise artificially in the NFL. If there's nobody in the stands, they practice, with music and whatnot during their practices. There's no fans there outside of, training camp, a couple hundred people they might invite. But it doesn't make an impact. So the fact that they're looking for fans and they have this crowd noise, it doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe you just want to put like a din or a white noise in the stadium so it's not all that silent in these giant domes that they would have. I fully understand that. But the fact that they're trying to reason it, well, if we have 12,000 fans in the stands, we can only use a certain amount of decibels. And that's going to lead to a lot of coaches, players, and organizations getting upset about the other team saying, it sounds way louder in here than we're allowed to play at our home. I can't understand the impetus, because also they're talking about, well, what happens if you play in a dome and it's usually really loud and now it's not going to be loud? Can we turn it up louder than the teams that don't have domes? I'm not following along with what the overall concept that the NFL is trying to do here, because why don't you just put it on the broadcast is the most important part that we're watching, right? Who's going to be playing in the football game? Yeah, we get it. The players, they like to have the fans. Yes, we get it, but they're not going to be there. I don't understand turning up the decibel level in the crowd with no crowd being there just for the players. Again, if you want the white noise in the background, that's certainly fine. Nobody cares about that. I think that would be fine. And if the coach say, look, just turn it up just loud enough where they can't hear me on the opposite sideline shouting to my player, that's one thing. But the fact that they're trying to massage this, and you can have it at 80 decibels, but how about home field? So can the home field turn it up to 90 and then turn it down to 30 when the other team has the football? This is ridiculous stuff, but it's a monster impact on the way you're going to be able to gamble on these football games. And for this not to be worked out, basically 2 weeks, week and a half, whatever it is, away from the start of the NFL season is egregious. This should already been done, because I can just see it now. Well, Kansas City, we're used to being really loud here. We're allowed to turn up to 113 decibels. But Jacksonville can only have 30 decibels. Just have white noise in the background. Crank up the sound on the broadcast so the fans can hear it as if they're getting a game day experience sitting at home. But the fact that you're going to be turning it up and turning it down and doing whatnot, look, still have the PA guy that the players are used to. 3rd and 7 coming up. Fine. 16-yard pass play. 1st and 10. That's all fine and good. The same way the PA guy would call it as if there's 65,000 people there. And also, if you still want to keep it like a live game day atmosphere, which you see down in the bubble in Orlando, where they're still playing the music, you come up on a, and you play, the rap music in the background, the R&B music in the background, defense. I understand all that stuff in the bubble. But you can do that in between plays the same way they have it during Sunday afternoons if I'm watching the Eagles and the Giants at Lincoln Financial Field. As soon as the play is done, some music comes on the screen. Some ads are ripping around the ribbons. The PA announcer saying it's going to be 2nd and 7. I get all that. That's fine. But just don't impede the actual game by making artificial crowd noise a differentiating factor in this. There's no fans in the stands. Some teams will have fans. Kudos to them and their governors and their mayors who are allowing fans in the stadium. That's an advantage. If your state doesn't want to listen to science and data and have nobody in the stadium, that is your fault. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Doesn't look like we're going to have, fans in the stands, which I guess just a stupid mayor and a stupid governor from the state of Pennsylvania. But other states are going to have fans in the stands, and kudos for them. Their governors, their mayors are making a smart decision saying, hey, keep 6 feet apart, throw your mask on, come out and enjoy the football game. You'll be fine. And it's agreed. Everybody agrees with that. So I don't understand what the point of concept is. Reward. How about NFL? Reward the ownership groups, the mayors, and the actual states, the governors, who are making sound decisions based on science and data and letting people in the stadium at 20 to 25%. Done deal. Makes sense. It's what absolutely should happen. Welcome in, everybody watching out here. Yeah, look at it. There you go, Taylor, right? Hearing trash talk and calls, pumped in crowd. Yeah. Look, the Atlanta Falcons, we always joke they already did it once. I'm sure there'll be experts at actually doing it again. But when that comes up, it infuriates me because being as a gambler, and again, I don't bet the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. Yeah, sure, I'm going to be like, hey, I think they're going to win this game, or I think this total should hit. But actual rubber meets the road where my money's coming out of my pocket, I wait till week 3, and rightfully so. I want to see these stadiums. I want to see the crowd noise geeked up and turned down and what it really sounds like and what's going on. Because sooner than you know it, Texans, Chiefs, opening night, September 10th. Oh, my God, we got football in here. Amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. But that's the way it is. And also another thing popped up today on ESPN as I was surfing through. Scumbag coach LSU, Will Wade, should have already been thrown off of LSU. Was under indictment. The FBI's got him on tape. No, I'm going to say like the actual institution tried to take him out, but he was threatening a lawsuit to put him back on the sideline. So, look, where there's smoke, there's fire. Will Wade comes out. Impermissible benefits to 11 players and recruits. That basically means Will Wade tells every player who wants to come to LSU, I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give your family money. Do they need a house? Do they need rent? Whatever you need to come here to LSU, I'm going to make sure it happens. And it's been out there a long time. And now it's finally starting to build and build and build. And you can say, hey, well, every institution is doing this out here. I mean, not everyone, but certainly some of the big institutions, and certainly LSU, not a basketball power. In order to get people to go to LSU, you got to hand out that check. Like we always joke about the SEC in football. The bag man rules, right? Hey, you got a really good defensive back from Miami. Well, Miami's really not paying that much. Florida State's going to pay a little bit. Florida will pay more, but LSU is dropping off that duffel bag with all that cash. The bag man and the SEC live, and they apparently live with LSU as well. Same thing out west. Arizona, even back as far as Lute Olson, one of the dirtiest programs in NCAA history is Arizona. And you saw what they did with DeAndre Ayton. We know DeAndre Ayton got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to his family. We know that. We're not dumb. But they played right through it and said, hey, we'll see if this holds up in court. Arizona is a completely dirty program. They get banged over the head all the time. But it just seems like, do we really care as fans? It's like in Major League Baseball when the steroid era, we're going to take away, this player, that player, and we don't want to happen again. The steroid era was really good for baseball. And it's fun to watch. Let these guys sign up under a doctor, get steroids prescribed to them in a certain amount doses, and let that ball go 500 feet. The fans don't care. Same thing if you found that, Krzyzewski's cheating at Duke. Who cares, man? Duke's stat line on, the fans that they draw in nightly in the ACC game of the week. There's a reason why Duke's on TV all of the time, because they have star players that go there and people want to see the Cameron Crazies. Mike Krzyzewski is a legend. They want to see that. Same way they used to want to see UNC until Roy Williams ruined that franchise of a basketball squad. It's fun to see Duke pound on UNC. And where would UNC be if Jordan never went there in the 80s? Would they even be a dominant basketball program at all? But the fact that that keeps on coming up, Will Wade, we know, is paying off guys absolutely left and right to get him to go there. We'll see if it turns out there. Just like Rick Pitino down in Louisville. I know nothing. Sure you do. John Calipari, he don't know anything either, right? Oh, well. Let's keep it moving here. White Sox, no. Lucas Giolito throws a no-hitter yesterday. And you know what the interesting part is? Because I hit the team total in the first 5 innings on the White Sox, and they should have had a lot more. I mean, every time I seemed like I was looking down at my phone to get an update, the White Sox in the first 5 innings seemed to have the bases loaded, 0 outs or 1 out. They scratched 4 across in the first 5 innings, which cashed because the team total was only 2.5 minus some juice over the first 5 innings. But I was actually surprised to see it was only a 4-0 game all the way through, because once, I hit the bet or put it out, I really don't pay too much attention to it. And I actually didn't know there was a no-hitter until this morning. But again, if you no-hit the Pirates, does it really count if it's a no-hitter? I'm pretty sure that I could come in maybe the 6th or 7th inning as a reliever, since I'm a lefty, throw some pitches maybe 60 miles an hour. I think I would do all right going up against the Pirates, because Colin Moran was out of the lineup. He's like the only real hitter they have. So maybe it's not so surprising that a no-hitter was thrown against the Pirates, but I actually didn't think there would be a no-hitter this season in Major League Baseball, especially with the short season, or full game, I should say, no-hitter, because maybe you would get one through rain, short delay, 5 innings, or one of these 7-inning doubleheaders where a guy went all the way. I didn't think you would get one through the 9th, and they had a nice defensive play by Adam Engel in right field to actually secure that no-hitter for Giolito. So that was something we already watched here. They already have soccer fans back in France. Everybody has masks 6 feet apart, no issues. Yes, see that? What's the big deal, man? You got to let the economy go. Herd mentality. Don't worry about it, man. We know a lot better treatments and a lot better processes that we're not just slamming down tubes into people's throats on a ventilator, which is actually the worst thing that they could have done. Treatments are getting better. Death rates going down. New York ruined it for everybody and killed everybody, but every other state learned off of New York on how to correctly treat the COVID virus as opposed to not correctly treat the COVID virus as the state of New York did. So I think Florida's making the right decision in this, and every school should be. Every school should be playing football out there. Young kids, they're healthy, they're fine. And also you saw the CDC come out and say, hey, look, even if you get close to somebody with COVID, you don't have to get tested. That's basically another way of saying, unless you have symptoms, don't worry about this. Do not worry about this at all. If you don't have symptoms, go on with your life. If you have symptoms, get checked out by a doctor. Hopefully you don't have any underlying conditions that would exacerbate the COVID-19 coronavirus. And otherwise, live your life. And that's the way we're going through now, because you see it all on campus right now throughout the colleges. Oh, my God, 200 kids got it. Oh, my God, they are going to quarantine. Oh, my God, they're going to remote learning. And you know what happens? You know what happens to those kids? We got to quarantine. We got to send them home. As soon as you bring them back on campus, 200 more will get the COVID. Then you'll send them home again. And a couple weeks later, you go back to campus. And you know what? 200 more kids will get the coronavirus. It's just the way it is. It's like the flu. Hey, are we going to be doing this for the rest of our life, throwing on a mask wherever we go at a game? There's going to be no more public bathrooms. What do we do during flu season when everybody gets sick? Like, we don't even pay attention. People don't even wash their hands during flu season. Now everybody's much more cognizant. I can't tell you how much hand sanitizer I've used over the past 6 months, or wash my hand. I probably washed my hands more in the last 6 months combined than I did my entire life. Yeah, you wash them coming out of the bathroom, but really, unless you're going to the bathroom during your day, or you're digging in a pit out back, or you come home because you're a construction worker. I work from home. How many times was I legitimately washing my hands throughout the day other than going to the bathroom? Now it seems like every time I walk by a sink, or I'm washing my hands and saying, hey, let's keep it on the up and up. And maybe through the rest of my life, that's a great habit that I picked up. Maybe I should have been washing my hands 6-7 times a day, as opposed to only when I go to the bathroom. Before I eat, wash my hands. I go out to a store, I come home, I wash my hands. Yep, wear a mask everywhere I go out. If I'm going to come in with contact with somebody, if I'm going into Wawa, Heritage's, 7-Eleven, whatever it may be, Sam's Club, Target with the wife, got my mask on. It's no big deal. It's second nature. But I did see also here in the state of New Jersey, and I know throughout a lot of parts of the country, gyms are opening up again. I've had a gym membership my entire life. From the moment I got out of college and I moved back home and took a full-time job and got out on my own, I've always been in the gym. I've been in the gym. You could say you were in the gym in high school, but in the 90s, we didn't lift all that seriously in high school. It's basically like a 1-month sprint where you would play football. We weren't lifting during football season. I would play basketball. We weren't lifting during basketball season. And then I was part of golf and or baseball in the spring. We weren't lifting during those times. So once that got over, it was like June. And then you started lifting like mid-June when school got out, July, and then August was football season already. So, I mean, it is the way it is. But now you're looking at it, getting back to the gym, it feels good. And I've always worked out. And look, us going to the gym, it's the least place you probably would want to be with coronavirus. You're sweating, people working out. Maybe they didn't shower that day, shower the day before. They're coughing, they're exerting. And I got to tell you, I'm not all that excited to go back to the gym. As much as I want to, I have dumbbells at home. I do push-ups, I have treadmill. My wife has the Peloton bike. We're fine. I walk a lot. So I try to keep the weight down that way. And again, I'm not trying to get buff. I'm not trying to play a sport like I'm in my 20s or go pick up girls at the, somewhere down the shore and be like, oh man, I'm shredded. I'm really not trying to do that. But I do like to stay in shape just because you feel comfortable and it's a healthy lifestyle that I've had my entire life. But I used to go to the gym 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. One body part a day, rotate in, some cardio and whatnot, just to stay in shape and feel good and get the endorphins going. But I'm not really that excited to go back to the gym and wear a mask when I work out. Has anybody done that? Like if you guys are joggers, do you jog around with a mask? Like, how do you get in the gym and like trying to rep out sets and you have, your mask in front of your face? I just can't see that being an enjoyable experience, because even if I'm only in the gym 30 to 45 minutes, I like to get in. I like to get out. I don't talk to anybody. I throw my earphones in. I don't pay attention to anybody. I don't want to have a talk about the Philadelphia Eagles game the day before, the Phillies game, or the Flyers game. I don't even care if I see somebody I know in the gym. I'm not there to have a conversation. I'm in there to do a couple sets, bang it out, get out of the gym, get back home, start looking at my screen again, and knocking out some content. That's what I like to do. But I'm not excited to go back and do back and buys or chest and tries or whatever you want to do in the gym and just look over, because now all of a sudden you're going to see is, did that guy over there, did he clean up? Did he clean up on there? Or you go over and you're going to get down on the bench press, Smith machine, whatever you're doing, hammer strength, who cares? And you look down and be like, I don't think this guy, sprayed this thing down. And it's only 25% that they allow in the gym. So, gym gets, packed at certain times. Am I going to be driving, a couple miles to the gym and get there and be like, yo, you're 13th in line and you got to wait and we'll see who comes in and out? Come on, man. How many times have you already been there already? I went to the outlets in my area, do a little shopping, bored one day on a Sunday, but these stores also don't let you in, because there's a 25%, 30% capacity in the store. So whether it's the Nike outlet, the Adidas outlet, the Reebok outlet, the Asics outlet, they're not letting a lot of people in. And me and my wife went to the Asics shop. She went to get a pair of running shoes. That's some great sales that day too, but neither here nor there. But they were only letting 4 people in the store at a time. So when we pull up to the store, there's only like 10 people in line. I'm like, oh, babe, we'll get in here real quick. Don't worry about it. It took like 40 minutes to get into the store. And then you're at the point where you're looking in there going, what the hell are they shopping for in there? Like what? Like you need a half hour to pick out sneaks? Like, I'm the fastest shopper there is, so I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. Like, I go in, I look around, and it takes me 5 minutes to find a pair of shoes, throw them on my feet, and be like, I'm good, I'm out of here. That's me. When I go into a store, hey, I need a pair of shorts and a shirt, I'm in there 5 minutes. I'm not in there trying things on and going back and forth. This looks good, I'm out of here. Same thing way when I go to the food store. I'm not in there to go up and down every aisle. I know exactly what I want. Bing, bong, boom, gone. Meanwhile, my wife and my mother-in-law will go up each and every aisle and say, don't rush us in the store. Next thing you're buying everything out there, the cart's completely filled. I'm in and out, man. I'm not messing around there. I'm not messing around. But just getting back to the gym, head sweat. Did that guy do this? I heard a guy sneeze on the opposite side of the gym. I got to wait 20 minutes to get into the gym when I usually just pull up whenever I want, get in, get out, and be done with it. And of course, you want to avoid like the 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock hour, of course, and maybe that, early lunch hour. But outside of that, the gym is usually yours. But I'm not going to pull up to the gym like I got 40 minutes to work out, but I sat in line for 20 minutes, only had 20 minutes to work out. Or the treadmills are going to be spaced, when they're usually side by side, 50 of them in a row. Now they only have 15 treadmills, and this dude's working out. So I got to sit on like the ledge and just stare at the dude like, dude, you've been on there like an hour, man. What the hell's going on? I'm just not really excited to do that whatsoever. Not whatsoever. Be back in 30 seconds here. I do want to go over some Major League Baseball and talk over the card here, and certainly what happened yesterday. Sportsbookreview.com, baby. It's where it's at.
Hey guys, Donnie here with SportsBookReview.com, the single best place on the internet for video and also written sports content. You see me do a lot of videos on our YouTube channel at SBR Sports Picks, bringing you all the latest up-to-date information. And also, if you want to win at sports betting, it's always important to get the best lines possible. So check out SBRodds.com, SportsBookReview.com.
Welcome back into Sports Betting with Donnie, presented by RightWager.com. Of course, the good people at SBR. Big things happening. Got another NFL football show today. And also, going to make some changes to the channel in the next week to week and a half. The content that's coming up, I have so much content to do, whether it be taping stuff and mostly doing live. Like right now, today, I'm going to be on the air for 3 live shows. Same thing I did yesterday. And that's not going to stop and even add additional shows throughout the fall. So I'm going to turn this channel, Sports Betting with Donnie, into a lot of like 5 to 6 minute breakdown videos. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet on YouTube, do that. But I'm also, the one thing I have found fun, because I do broadcast through StreamYard. And, every once in a while, we might do live shows here and there to see what's what. But I do want to effectively use the YouTube channel as that home base where you get the edited videos. You want a quick free play. You want to break down tonight's game. That's going to all be there. And I'm not going to use Twitter as much in that aspect. Like, check out this video. If you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you're going to get these videos. Turn the notification on or just check it out. But I am going to use Twitter for Periscope much more, because through StreamYard, you can go live on Periscope, and not so much as a set, like I'm going to come on at 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. I want to use it almost throughout the day, where if you catch it, like you can always go back and see my timeline or go through if you do follow me on Periscope and just see what I was talking about. But I want to do some, quick hitting things, like some hot topics that pop up during the day, go live on something that just took place and just have it out there and talk and have a conversation back and forth where, I can see you guys commenting back and forth on Periscope and doing all that stuff. I think that's going to work well, because coming on and doing 3 or 4 live shows during a day is really hard to do, and it mix matches the content. Because if I can wake up in the morning, knock out a couple videos, send that to YouTube, and then throughout the day, if something goes on live, I can come talk about it, or a game's about to go on, I really want to use Periscope, because it's a pretty good outlet to use, very easy to see. And also when you go live, because Periscope works with Twitter, where when you go live, you see the video right up and it engages people when you get in. YouTube, not really built for Twitter, where you just see that little press here and watch this video. It doesn't go over as well. So if you do follow me on YouTube, you're going to continue to get all those videos and updates and free plays and what's going on there. But also I want to use Periscope as an outlet that I can just come on live and talk and have some fun, get in, get out, and engage with the people who want to watch the show. So those things are going to happen. I don't know when exactly that's going to take place. I don't like to pull the plug on things and plug things back in, but I'm having fun with this. But just doing 3 to 4 live shows, like yesterday, coming on live in the morning, and then I go afternoon on the SportsBookReview.com Major League Baseball show, both myself and Jason Radowitz. And, then go live on Tuesdays on Game Time Decisions with Gabe, which is like a 45-minute show. So that's a lot of on-air content. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes. Because, look, I'm not just some average dude that's able to sit at home, even though sometimes I wish I was. But, look, I got to pick my kid up. I got to drop my kid off. You got to do a lot of things during the day. Prepare, get things ready, get show schedules together behind the scenes. So I want to use my time more effectively and wisely, where the information is still prominent and the content is good, but it does get sent out. So again, if you're following there on YouTube, if you're watching on a replay, hit the subscribe button on there, notifications on, you'll get those things. And we're not going to deluge you with 30 to 45 minute videos and all that stuff. Quick 5 to 6 minutes, like here's what I like on this game tonight. Here's why I like it. Here's why you should take it, in and out, and do things like that. And I'm going to have a lot of fun doing that as well. But coming up in the fall, there's so much football content that's going to be live, that's going to be pumped out, that my time would be better spent and more effective content on Sports Betting with Donnie, getting those videos out daily. But again, I want to keep the Periscope vibe going. I think it's fun. It's broadcasting like really good, HD, and you could pop on, like something goes live. I could just flip on the lights, bang it out, and be like, hey, look, did you just see what happened? And you get in, you get out, and you have some fun with stuff like that. So that's going to be a lot of fun to do. So if you're following on Periscope, hit the follow button. We'll go live. You'll see it there pop up on Twitter. If you just follow me on Twitter, you'll see it on the timeline. But the YouTube channel, I'm going to go independent on the YouTube with Sports Betting with Donnie. Just use that as an outlet for plays and breaking it down. But I don't know when that's actually going to start. Could start tomorrow. You never know. Could start Friday, but I do have fun coming on doing content. I don't want to lose that part of it, because I do Hot Topics with Pub Sports Radio every afternoon on the videos as is anyway. So I'm going to be using this more as if you want plays, you know where to go. This is the channel it's going to be on. Yeah, Niger, how you doing, buddy? A lot of people checking in out here. Niger's always been popping in there on Periscope. So we'll continue to do all that stuff, but I'm not going anywhere. And the content, again, as I said, it really just ramps up. Like I know in Sportsbook Review, we have a live Monday Night Football show that we're going to have with a couple guys. We'll have fun with that. Obviously, we go live before the NFL kicks off on Sundays on an hour pregame show. I believe I have 2 live shows during the week that are just content with Sportsbook Review. And also Monday through Friday until baseball ends in September, we're doing a Major League Baseball show in the afternoon. So I'm going to have a ton of content all over the places, but they're going to be more strategically placed so we can have a little bit more fun and get after it here. Back to some baseball talk. White Sox, no. We talked about, Giolito throwing a no-hitter, which is amazing. I didn't think there would be a no-hitter thrown in Major League Baseball this year. Indians welcome back Mike Clevinger. Indians got a shot to make the playoffs and maybe do some damage with that pitching staff if those bats come around, or at least what I say, come around and be a little bit more consistent. But Clevinger is back. We'll see if Plesac ever gets back, but it seems like they, were effective with his apology. He sat out long enough. We don't want to penalize him anymore. So I understand that they brought back Clevinger. We'll see if Plesac gets back in. But it's one of those teams that, boy, you look at the lineup and they can go switch hitters, they can stack righties, they can stack lefties, but it just doesn't seem to be working out all that well. The one thing that did work out yesterday I did like was the Philadelphia Phillies. Good starting pitching. And then you saw the rain come in. You had to lean it over to the bullpen. Bullpen held on. Offense came alive. JT Realmuto broke the game wide open with that 3-run home run that hit off the fence like 3 times, the top of the fence, and finally went over. The Phillies were on their way. And also when I was doing my game picks yesterday on sportsbookreview.com, the first game we went over was the Phillies game, and I had the team total of over 2.5 in the first 5 innings, and that hit. So that came in well there. How about the this one? Clippers go ham on the Mavericks. I was on talking to Gabe yesterday and Cam on Game Time Decisions. And like, hey, who do you want to go with? I was like, hey, you know what? It's 8 points. I know Porzingis is out. He missed the last game. I'm not an NBA better. I'm like, I'll take the 8 points. I didn't watch 1 second of that game. I woke up. I said, 151 points. And, of course, more controversy. They can't leave Luka Doncic alone, whether it's, calling him a couple slurs out here or talking trash on racial lines, or it's just stepping on his ankle on purpose to try to get him to twist it and then say he didn't have any part of it. It's amazing. Man, the NBA is wild down in that bubble. It's pretty cool stuff, though. I got to agree. Like, I wouldn't mind if the NBA just went to a bubble all year round. The play is far superior than you get in the regular season. And it has to be where you're playing in smaller gym-type atmospheres, but also there's no travel. Look, we know these professional athletes are really pampered, 5-star, hotel accommodations, private jet, charter jets, in and out, the best food, but you're still traveling. The single fact that these guys come in and just put in all this hard work and all they have to do is leave, get on a 2-minute bus ride back to their hotel, hanging out with their boys. They're only doing basketball. They're not out doing charity events and, promoting rap albums or a new movie they're going to do over the summer or hanging out with IG models all night long. They're getting their rest. They're working out and they're keeping it all basketball. And the play has been fantastic on the court. The play has been absolutely sensational on the court here. What's good, Vicky Cohen? How you doing, brother? But it's been really good. It's been good. It's been fun, the bubble. Same thing with the hockey in the NHL. These guys are putting on a show. I mean, outside my Flyers, who I'm waiting for just like a tic-tac-toe game. What I mean by that is maybe you get 5 power plays, convert 2. You get a breakaway, you convert that. A nice 2-on-1 tic-tac-toe pass, you score. Flyers play today at 3 o'clock. I'll be watching that game, but I haven't had much. Look, they advanced. They won 4-2 in the first round. I had almost zero fun watching that Canadian series because I felt like maybe the Canadians could have even been the better team in that series. And just hanging on by the seat of your pants to win games, that's not that fun to do. So is what it is. Hopefully they get a better outcome today and at least push this series 6 or 7 games with the Islanders. They can do it. They have a great goalie, good young cast. Maybe they're a year or 2 ahead of, where they could be, especially with some of the young defensemen that the Flyers have. But it's been fun watching. But again, getting back to the NBA has done a great job with the bubble. Kudos to them, keeping everything in-house. Nobody testing positive. Great brand of basketball out here. Take a quick look here. Let's set this up on the odds screen here. Give me 1 second, boys. We will bring this in. There we go. A little bit of Major League Baseball as we know that's happening today. If you see me looking up, I'm just looking at the monitor just above the camera. I'm going to keep myself on screen here as we go back and forth. 2 o'clock game this afternoon, Williams and Keuchel 901, 902 right here as a, and you know what I can do here? So I can keep it down now. We'll just keep it up there. It's no big deal. Williams and Keuchel on the mound. Keuchel, he's been really good. I mean, has a great career, not an overpowering type pitcher. XFIP and Sierra is a little bit elevated. Williams is always a guy that I do like to fade, a straight line fastball guy. We'll see what some of these lineups come out at, but let's check some of the weather conditions here. Good weather, though. Humid, 90 degrees. 11 miles an hour, almost that crosswind. So that should be some hitting weather out there for the Chicago White Sox, fresh off of a no-hitter. Somebody on Twitter hit me up and said, what are the odds that Pittsburgh even gets a hit today? It's pretty funny. But, hey, the lineup is really bad. It's bad. It's not just bad when you look at it and take the eyeball test and you look at a team like, boy, it doesn't look like they have much over there. You look at the statistics, they're all red. Like usually like green statistics, which means a nice ISO, weighted on base average, low strikeouts. They're all red across the board. They strike out. They don't walk enough. They don't hit with power. They don't get on base. That's a bad baseball team. Nola and Corbin on the mound, over under 8.5, kind of surprising here. Now, the Phillies will be able to load up on right-handed bats. I think we know that, but Corbin's a very effective left-handed pitcher, and Aaron Nola having a really good season as is. Wojciechowski and Richards, that's one where you look at maybe Tampa Bay as a team total in that spot. Barrios and Clevinger back on the hill. After some time off, it's sort of hit or miss at that point. I think we can agree when you look at it because you don't know if he's going to be back healthy and ready, not because he had an arm injury, obviously because he's been away, but just getting back, the adrenaline going through. Barrios had a nice bounce back start his last time out, over under 8.5 in that game. This one should get runs, and I agree with the 9.5s now going up to 10s. I absolutely agree with that. Even some 10.5s that are now popping up across the board. Fulmer is not a good pitcher, and Lester has been abysmal. Don't look at his ERA. We only had one bad start. He was on the verge of giving it up and gave it up last game. And you're looking at Detroit Tigers like, maybe they don't have much. They can stack right-handed bats and get after them. I completely agree with that total moving up. And the Cubs should get some runs tonight. Disappointed me last night on my premium play, but they should be able to get after it. Alicia Hernandez and Jacob deGrom, two good pitchers on the mound tonight as the Mets get back underway after getting toppled yesterday in a doubleheader by those fluky fish. Cincinnati and Milwaukee, Gray and Hauser. Over under opened up at 8, now sitting at 8.5. Hard to go against Gray. I'm just not a fan of that Milwaukee lineup. They just have not woken up enough for me to try to back them. Jacob Junis is going to be on the mound versus Dakota Hudson. And I want to say, I'm not sure if that was the original pitching matchup that was coming into today. I'm going to have to check on that. But that line sits at 9 across the board. Heavy favorite there to St. Louis. Oakland Fires and Aller, two really bad pitchers on the mound here. But can you trust the offense specifically of the Texas Rangers to try to carry some of this weight? Because if you're looking at 9.5s that they opened up, now sitting at 10s. But Fires has been abysmal. XFIP high, Sierra high, ERA high. He's due to get tuned up. But then again, you have to have a viable lineup that can swing the bats. I'm not so sure Texas can do that. But I'm not betting on Mike Fiers, as 80% of the public are, and 155, which drops to 138. That's a signal right there. Dinelson Lamet, the better pitcher than Taijuan Walker. Does San Diego get back on the right way? Winning track today against Seattle after getting busted out. Another one with some high ERAs. Robbie Ray has been terrible on the season. Strikeout pitcher, but a lot of walks, a lot of traffic on bases. But can Colorado, punch through there? 9 out of every 10 tickets say they can't. Opens up at 104, now sits as high as 133. Gausman and Kershaw. How about last night? One of my plays that I had on Sportsbook Review, play of the days, over 1.5 team total for the San Francisco Giants. They covered that easily. First inning, 3-run blast by Belt. They're hot on offense, but can they get after Kershaw? And you're going to pay a pretty penny to get after Kershaw at minus 240. And then obviously Tanaka and Fried. I believe it's a doubleheader today for the New York Yankees and the Atlanta Braves. So I don't have too much overall on that altogether. But those are the matchups today on the card. And I'm hoping that I bounce back, and I know I will bounce back with a premium play victory. But also keep in mind at 1:30 p.m. this afternoon, we'll be live, both myself and Jason Radowitz on sportsbookreview.com, breaking down all the games. Got a 5-game play of the day win streak on the line, 3-0 on Monday, 2-0 on Tuesday, and maybe we could pick out another couple winners on there and cruise over. I have my eye on a few games today, which I do like the pitching matchups versus the batters. Just waiting to see some lineups that are actually going to come out and see if they can provide some analysis for us to do. That'll be it today. Nice quick short show, 30 minutes here. Keep in mind, we are going to make some changes here on the channel. If you're following on YouTube, please feel free to do so. I'm not really going to be promoting all that much from the YouTube channel, Free Picks and Plays. If you are a YouTube member, you're going to get those delivered directly to your inbox. That's part of the fun of being a subscribed member through YouTube. But we are going to go live on Periscope a lot more, talking about some hot topics throughout the day and have some fun with that. So big things happening here with Sports Betting with Donnie and also at rightwager.com. Big show today on sportsbook.com, a Major League Baseball show in the afternoon, and also an NFL show at 4 o'clock, breaking down the NFC West with my man, Kyle Provines. Thanks for tuning in to the show. Be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. right here on Sports Betting with Donnie, presented by rightwager.com.